LearnServe International traveled from Washington, D.C. to Lusaka, Zambia. On the first day, we traveled to the David Kahunga Technical School, where we met the Zambian students, where the smartest students in all Zambia go to learn. As part of the day's activity, we had a chance to sit in and observe classrooms. And one difference that we observed was that students were still studying even when the teacher was gone, which the American students said confidently won't happen in the United States. And one similarity that we noticed was that the subjects were quite similar or almost the same, as the Zambian students were learning the same concept and the same style as the American students. David Kahunga School has are prefixes and captains. The prefixes are the ones that enforces the rules on the student body, and the student captains are the people who watch over a certain grade in the David Kahunga School. On the campus, we saw cadets marching, and we also did various activities, just as playing ball, just as an icebreaker, as friendly activity, and they also performed a play for us. We saw various talents performed by them. It was really a nice time. We also witnessed and performed various talents from both Zambia and American students.
So I wish I could stay, but this death got to take me. Are you a dream? Are you really what you seem? And the tears cooling down your eyes. That's a bit of stream, shut the casket. So please don't moan, feel no pain, just to feel me when I'm gone.
When I say bonjour la tous, also you say bonjour. Bonjour la tous.
Bonjour la tous.
Bonjour la tous.
Bonjour la tous.
Je m'appelle Hope. Je vais vous dire envoyer un petit message.
Answer me! Who is taking you for granted? Just overreacting.
Overreacting, huh? Jacob, you call this overreacting? I am carrying a child and you don't get what I feel.
As we leave David Kahunga Technical School, both people from Zambia and America were saying their goodbyes.
Today we came to Children's International Center in Zambia to visit a child that was sponsored named Memory by a participant parent. We drove through West Lusaka, the slums area. We visited some classes where children were practicing their numbers and singing and just having fun. We went into the storage room where they showed us the nshima, which is the food that the children eat, and just the toms and all the shoes and clothes that they get every 6 months. Later on that day, we got to meet a teenager named Memory. She was a 17-year-old girl that Eve's mother sponsored. It was an honor to meet her. She sung us songs, bought gifts. This afternoon we visit Zambikes to see the Zambulans and the Zampark, how they all were put together and just how they help Zambia in the future. visited the Zambia Box Factory where we learned about the Zambulands and the Zambia cards for the Zambians.
Today we have arrived at the Kambalanga market to buy goods that are made by Zambians. Behind the market, also known as the Dutch Reform Market, we saw lots of beautiful items. There were wooden carvings, clothing, and African textiles, jewelry made from ebony, trees, and so much more. One cool thing about the market experience here in Lusaka is negotiating with the sellers. Sellers don't expect you to take the first price. The idea is to talk down the price or even barter something for a lower price. You'll be surprised what the sellers find valuable. He just traded his shirt.
On day 5, we traveled through the Zambian countryside to go to the Green Pop Lodge. We saw both urban cities and more rural areas. We also had to stop for some cows that were crossing at times. When we got there, they showed us the zero waste recycling area, the outdoor showers, and the tent area that we would be sleeping in. For dinner, we had nshima, Zambia's national dish, a mix of vegetarian roughage, which for the most part was cooked in the outdoor solar cookers. For many people, this was the first time camping, and there were many mixed reactions. The first night of camping was cold.
Different.
Good.
Cold.
Freezing.
Fine.
Uncomfortable.
Challenging.
Sleepless.
We came here with Green Pup to a forest today, and they showed us what the charcoal kiln looks like. It's like something they burn down wood to make it charcoal, so they can use their ovens and stuff like that. This is a piece of it actually. It's really thick and nice quality. They also showed us the seeds of a tree that I cannot remember, but the tree fall seeds, you can actually hear it shake, which means it's actually pretty good. No animals have done anything to it at all. But we came here to discuss about the deforestation issue, things that's going wrong with the environment that needs to change.
First, we met in a circle to do Mayhem Morning, where we got to know each other even better. We had decided whether or not to destroy a kiln where charcoal burn trees to make it living. We went on a tree tour and saw a Scotsman's rattle, which is a pod that contains the tree seeds, and we also saw a monkey orange.
This is a monkey orange. Right now it's green, it turns orange because it falls from a tree, like any other one. But this, not safe to eat right now. It has like a weird taste. It doesn't taste like your traditional orange that comes from America or any other country to get it from.
During free time, we crafted different items using recycled t-shirts. During the eco session, we learned how to turn out garbage from trash to treasure. Then we learned how the solar cooker works. Later that night, we all took a pledge to save as many trees as possible by cutting down on the waste and planting trees. Then we took a long hike to go see the Baobab tree. At the end of the night, we ended with Uncle Ben's campfire stories.
Hi, we're at Highland High School, elementary school, and we are painting a mural, and LearnServe is also planting some trees around here and talking to the children. yeah, it's a good time.
First, they showed the students how to plant a tree. Students also mapped where the trees were located. Students also learned how to make eco bricks and how to tune them and cover them in dirt and sand. So Marty, the mural designer, basically outlined his design of a baobab tree with all these different shapes surrounding it. And so then he invited the students, not only from LearnServe, but from Green Pop and Highland Elementary School, to go in and fill in the colors, kind of like a paint by number. And yeah. We showed the kids how to use a solar cooker, and we got to play with them for a bit. I showed them how to play hopscotch, and then they showed us through a presentation their Zambian dance.
We played a game against the Zambian national team. First it was co-ed teams, then it was girls versus girls, and my team won 1-0, and then we did the national warrior thing when they celebrate.
Today we went to Sons of Thunder and we planted 200 fruit trees. Also we extended the food farm, which is over here, food forest.
We did an icebreaker with the people at Sons of Thunder, and we got to dance around in a circle and have fun. Then we split up into groups, and some people planted in the fruit forest, which was with little fruits and trees, and it's gonna grow to big forest. This plant is called Spec Boom, and it helps stop the forest fire. The other group planted trees in a farm, and as a collective we planted 200 trees, which was really hot, and it was hard because the soil was hard and dry. For lunch we got the pleasure to eat traditional Zambian food from some of the farmers at Sons of Thunder.
Today was our last day at camp at Green Pop, and we did a social, economic, entrepreneurship, ecological entrepreneurship thing, and which was really interesting. We did some activities like tossing yarn and seeing how all different types of things in the world are connected. And we also did an activity about solving problems with not very resources that aren't exactly the first thing that comes to your mind. And then we planted a tree in the honor of our group, and this is Tree DC.
On our last day at camp, we did an eco-enterprise workshop. Matt showed us a PowerPoint describing what an eco-enterprise is. We did an activity representing what bartering in a market would be like, complete with obstacles. We did an activity where we were given an environmental problem and a resource to solve our issue.
Before I say something else, let me just say this. Isn't this a beautiful family? If you look at yourself, the persons that next it to you, isn't this the beautiful family?
We planted a tree with Uncle Ben to symbolize our partnership with Green Pop and say our final goodbyes. We left camp and went to our new location, and then we went to Cafe Zambezi, and almost everyone tried crocodile.
Today we're at Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world.
As soon as we walked in, my reaction was that Victoria Falls is so beautiful it was overwhelming. The traditional term for the falls is water that thunders, and the sound is so relaxing. The falls come from the Zambezi River, which divides Zimbabwe and Zambia.
We hiked down the falls and wanted to stay forever.
Safari with winning, travel, and food.
Continuing our day, we packed into 2 jeeps to go on a safari and a wildlife preservation.
We are still on a safari and we saw giraffes, crocodile, elephants.
Near the end of our journey, we had the unique opportunity to see the white rhinoceros up and personal on foot. At sunset, we went to a waterfront restaurant and had crocodile ribs, and they tasted like chicken with the texture of fish. Yum!
Today we were surprised with a visit from the David Kunde students. The chaperones kept telling us we had another activity.
It's taking a little longer than he thought it would. So yeah, he would like to. But at least he'll come for sure.
But really it was a surprise visit from the students. We played games and connected and had a good time with our new friends. We really did not want to see them go, but we were glad we got to see them one more time before we left.
Today we went to Daughter's Vision to teach a few lessons. First, the students greeted us with a song. A woman named Gladys who started this school has transformed her community by providing a free learning service for girls who cannot afford to go to school anywhere else. We as LearnServe introduced ourselves to the young students and played for a bit. We taught art by painting and coloring and playing with chalk. A few of us read stories to the kids. We taught math. 99, 100. And we did a few outdoor activities. Then they showed us games that they play, and it was very exciting to see. It was hard to say our last goodbyes because the young kids didn't want us to leave, but we would surely miss them.
On our last day in Zambia, we visit Africa's Directions. This organization is led by a man named Japhet, whose goal is to empower children to change their communities through the arts. He gave us a tour of the center, and all around us were billboards reminding children to practice safe sex or abstinence because HIV is a serious issue in Zambia. As the tour continued, we entered a library to encourage children to read, but there were very few books there. Next, Japhet showed us a sewing room where they are teaching women to create garments and purses to start their own business someday. We stopped by the clinic where many people go to get tested for HIV and AIDS and receive counseling. Then we go to know each other through dance. We walked through the community where the Africa Directions members put on a performance to encourage their neighbors to visit the center. There was dancing, singing, and even a skit about HIV and AIDS. On the walk back, we realized just how many people the center impacts. Over 300 people came to the circle to hear the performance. Before we left, the girls showed us how to make a go bag, where they use old fabrics and t-shirts to make handbags. We had a great time with Africa Directions. We enjoyed seeing them making an impact on community through the arts.
From this experience, I learned that I shouldn't complain about the stuff that I don't have and be grateful for the stuff that I do have, because many people around the world
doesn't even have a phone or electricity.
Going to Zambia was truly a learning experience. Back in America, it was easier to say it was for charity, but coming here really takes you out of your comfort zone and seeing like the way of life, the culture, and just the diversity from like income to like culture is really astounding. Going to the slums in the morning and be able to like eat casually in a mall, in a posh mall, is really makes you think about your own life and really how the way society works. And going to Zambia really made me feel like a global citizen because like I'm experiencing a little bit of everything here, from the food to the clothes, and it really shows, you know, how much we can learn as people.
From this experience, I have learned that the impact you have on others not only changed their lives, but also yours.
After hearing stories from girls my age from Daughter's Vision, and then hearing about how Africa Direction helps women who become pregnant, and these girls with stories about their sexual violence that they have experienced, I realized that the reason why women let themselves be mistreated is because they're financially dependent on their husbands, and the only real way that they can escape this is through receiving a college degree or further education. So what I wanted to do was start maybe a program that could provide student loans for women who often can't afford college, and that way they can create their own independence.
I think this trip has really allowed us to fully experience Africa, and not just the part that we would experience if we came here as tourists. We saw both the touristy side, which was Victoria Falls and Livingstone, and also the very poor neighborhoods in Intendire.
I've always cared about girls' empowerment, education, and safety, and this trip has further compelled me by seeing all these girls in their situations to care further and push me further to do more about it.
This experience has given me the opportunity to see two sides of the world, the privileged and those who have less than what we have. And what I want to do with what I learned is take it back and make a difference little by little.